Right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you hear us, Drew?
I can, Mayor. Can you hear me?
I sure can, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
A moment of silence.
Councilmember Castaneda,
Here.
Councilmember Sotelo,
Here.
Councilmember Alvarado,
Here.
Councilmember Zavala, and Councilmember De La Fuente.
Here.
My understanding is Vera called in today to be excused, so I can get a motion to excuse Vera. I make a motion to excuse Vera today. I have a motion by Diane,
I'll second it.
second by Mary, all in favor. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, if I can get vote on the meeting agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
Motion by Sophia. Second by Alfredo, all in favor.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I can get a motion on for the consent agenda. A and B.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Sophie, second by Alfredo, all in favor.
Can we have discussion a little bit? I just have a question on our temporary employee who works out the wastewater, well, the contracted one. Is he being kept to the 20 hours a week as contracted?
Let the wastewater?
Yeah.
Would be,
I don't want to say the
Peters?
name, but yeah.
I'm not, no, I think he's working more because there's a lot more out there going on
The
then.
contract only says 20 hours a week. And we're overspending like crazy already. We're at the end of the year. We could have to be doing amendments. We shouldn't be spending all this money that we that we're not authorized to spend. Isn't it 20 hours a week contract, the
Mm.
contract?
I'm not, no, not for Randy.
Yeah, part-time. I think it's 20 hours a week.
No, I think we changed that on
So
Sophie, on the in 2023, I believe. And it was,
But he bills monthly. He does bill monthly, so when you're seeing his bill, he does have a lot of hours. So I think it might have been 25 hours a week, but he's still, just to ensure that we're in compliance, he has to have so many hours here. But he bills monthly, so it's not like we're paying him.
yeah, we still need to keep track
It's
of those
breakdown.
hours. And it's,
Yeah.
I think it was 20 hours a week
That's
as a
what I
contract,
remember too.
contract says. So, but I heard he was been putting more hours and more hours and more hours, and I don't know if anybody's paying attention to that. We're just paying him all the hours he wants to work.
No,
Well, a
no,
couple of months ago, Sophie said she was keeping track.
yeah,
Yeah,
we found the contract and I thought it said 25 hours per week, but and only a couple of times he's exceeded 100 hours for the month.
and then I know he does come in to spray. Cause he's got his spray license.
Which
And,
is separate
um,
hours.
What's
oh,
that?
is that separate?
That is separate than wastewater.
Yeah, so that's where he does some of the hours during early spring and summer. For that.
Okay, now since I'm on the subject of that, what about our other temporary part-time seasonal employee? I think he needs to stop working so we don't spend that extra money that we shouldn't, and we don't have to spend. It's only a temporary part-time employee that the chief had asked us to get.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
working under me.
Okay, and I explained that to Sophie, he wasn't working under you. He's helping Public Works right now as we're down one So we actually have 2 in the field.
Okay, Drew, so I have a question for you, Drew. So the council approved a temporary employment for this person
Mhm.
to end with the PD, to end, while they were all gone, to end, I think, I don't know, the fall. It was temporary. She's,
Mhm.
and the mayor, but the person is still working with us in a different department that wasn't authorized by us to be spending. Wasn't authorized by the council, I mean.
What do you mean by not authorized by the council? You mean the funds was not authorized or the position was not authorized or both?
Both.
So,
Well, there's a way to, well, clearly the person is working for you, that's, a conversation as your oversight role of the administrative side of branch, the way to correct that, because you can do this retroactively, is to augment the budget as necessary. So if this individual, if there's money that has been, not budgeted for something like this, then that's the most appropriate action is to go and to amend your budget that way. Not knowing, I will admit, enough about your budget, there may,
We lost you. We lost you.
sorry, I don't know why it went back on mute there. Not knowing your budget chapter and verse, there may also be, and this is not particularly uncommon, but but there are provisions kind of built in oftentimes in city budgets for administrative officers to, when the need arises, to bring on a temporary worker to meet and fulfill a need. And not knowing enough about this particular situation and not knowing where this particular line item is being drawn from, you might have a situation where, yes, you may not have necessarily budgeted for this individual, but you've specifically for this job, but that the actual money itself, you're not actually seeing an increase in your expenditures past what you've already approved. And again, I'm not fully understanding. It sounds like this person was first brought on under the PD. So my assumption is that they were paid out of the budget item that was under the police department, and that there was funding for that role. And then if this person is no longer in the police department, which I think is what I'm understanding the conversation is, that in theory he should be being paid under what the other department's budget is, assuming number one, that department has the budget to spend, and that number two, that the department is authorized to make that expenditure.
my understanding, he wasn't getting paid by the police department budget.
Well, and again, that I think that's going to be a conversation. That might be a conversation more for Sophie than me, because that's to the details of how was this individual paid. But for in terms of whether or not this person can be brought on as a seasonal employee, the administrative officers have a wide berth on how they do personnel. Obviously, not knowing again your budget chapter and verse, you may have it built into your budget where when this need arises, that is a expenditure that's kind of accommodated. If that's not built in, then the solution to that is to amend the budget to reflect this expenditure. But if there hasn't been, if the expenditure isn't in excess to whatever the thing is that you are supposed to be spending on, and again, that's going to be more of I think Sophie's going to be in a better position to answer that question than me. I don't necessarily see it tripping a specific wire in terms of like whether or not the mayor could have legally or not legally take that position or legally take that action. I mean, and I guess the other question is when is this person supposed to be done? They're seasonal. It sounds like they came on for a specific task. Sounds like they were extended for another task, which was to provide coverage while another employee was out. And so I guess then the question then becomes, how much longer is that situation going to last?
And so I did explain to them that we have 1 out right now. So we're down to 2 in the field, with including him is 2. So come next week, we'll be back to 2 again, because one of our other ones leaves until January. But he, the one that is the temp right now will finish out the year. What they'll do at the beginning of the year, I don't know. They'll have to figure it out how they're gonna fill that. But we can't just have one out in the field. There always has to be two out there. For
Okay, so-
safety issues, for safety reasons.
Because my question, Drew, was this person wasn't authorized to be to work farther than what the PD needed him for? So can it be stopped now? Since we're overspending already at the end of the year, we're gonna have to do all kinds of amendments where we shouldn't have to if we don't have the money to do it. My question was, can it be stopped? Because it wasn't authorized by us to transfer this person into a different department. It was, we authorized only for a certain amount.
Right. I see what you're getting at, council member. My hesitancy here in this conversation is that it's never good to have a personnel conversation during a council meeting. It's just not. And what I mean by that is that it's never good for a person to hear a bunch of people on a public space talk about their job, right? But I understand that that's not what you're getting at here. You're getting at as your role as a legislator to review the budget.
Thank you.
It's the if this body had made a decision that they wish to cease to end a certain employment situation, that is a potential action, although I would not advise it. And particularly would not advise it in the manner of which we are in this order of operations doing that. I would, however, recommend in the future looking at the policy decisions or some of the policies, or should I say, the authority that the council has given to the mayor in order to say, all right, in the future, we are going to take a look at what the mayor, as the chief administrative officer, what their authority is to then bring on a seasonal worker. And we might say, we are going to implement a certain kind of new restriction or a new control in order to avoid this scenario where we are spending, where we have because of our employers, we're spending more than what has been originally budgeted. So we're not in this situation. I think that would be my recommendation because that's more of a forward thinking. It's being less about like the issue at hand. I recognize that, but it's probably going to result in a better outcome overall for the city. And it sounds like I know today is the 9th. And so it sounds like this employee, if he stays on till the end of the 30 to the 31st, that the balance of the month is remaining on that. But that's kind of where I land on this, is not necessarily taking any particular actions regarding this employee, but instead looking forward to putting in new or more restrictive controls on the mayor's ability. And I'm just using the mayor at the office of the mayor, ability to hire or hire seasonal employees and to move those seasonal employees around from department to department without further council authorization.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Drew.
We're gonna go ahead and go on to get an approval then for the consent agenda for A and B.
What are you waiting for?
I'm needing an approval because you stopped it. You had a
Well,
question.
you gotta take a vote now. All in favor?
Well, that's what I'm asking for, an approval.
She
Oh, I
already
haven't
voted it.
Oh, I have Sophie. I didn't get it second.
Judy.
Motion by Sophie, second by Arturo, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Do we have any visitors' comments? You may stand at the podium, state your name and your address, please.
I can talk about.
Okay.
Yes, so my name's Maria Vargas.
You know what? I don't think that's loud enough.
No, no, no.
The people on that, you can't hear.
One, two, three.
Start singing here. Okay, so my name's Maria Vargas Soto. I live at 717 Main Street in Afton. I was here because I had gone in. I believe it was early of the month of, not early, it was like maybe after the 20th of November. And I asked about, my, water bill, wanted to pay it because I had a personal issue, I couldn't pay it on time. So the amount that, I thought I would be paying was like double. So I was thinking, maybe there's a mistake or something, so I was they made me aware that, it wasn't for the month of December, which I thought maybe they're wanting me to pay for the month of November and December. It was due to an overpayment or an overcredit that they, had posted back in May of 2023. So they're charging me for a mistake that whoever was doing that, taking care of posting these payments, back in May of 2023. So I gave a payment of $175. And, apparently they posted $328. So when they were trying to explain to me that, I'm very I don't like to disrespect anybody. So I told them if I could have a ledger, so I could look through it, because I do understand ledgers. I've been in accounting before. So it did state on one of the ledgers that I gave 175, but they credited 328. So my thing is, if they did somehow made a mistake to do the 328, then I would have had a payment for the month of June. Or at least not a full payment, but I still paid the month of June. So then,
You remember what that amount was? Do you have it on there? for what
Yeah,
you
so-
paid
for the June, it was 154, and then I gave 194.27. And then I had a credit of 39.47. They provided me, they printed out a letter saying that I wasn't the only resident that happened to, that several of the Mapton residents were gonna receive this letter, which states that somehow in May, or I don't know what other date, that it shows that the records in May 8th, there's an amount of 175, and they mistakenly credited a different amount. So I don't know if I'm the only one, or is there gonna be more people?
Can I see that?
There's about 5 of them.
Is there, okay, can I see that? Yes.
So on one of the, so one ledger, it does show that I gave 175 and 175 was credited. But on this screen, on the blue screen, it shows it differently. It shows that it was 328, but not on the original one. So it almost seems, so when I asked, they said that it was manually inputted on there.
Which
but
one
the-
was manually inputted?
um,
The one in the blue?
So, but then I got, so when I paid and all paid, I do my payments through there, but then they ended up giving me 2 receipts. And I said, well, why is there 2 receipts? One of them was manually created. So right there and then, it's like a trust issue for me. If there's one original one, and then you're manually doing another one, that just makes me think, is it manually? What payment is manually getting credited, or who else is this happening to?
So, I'll talk to you.
We can explain it to her when,
You wanna, Maria, can you come into the office tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'll be there. What time works for you, so I can be there? Can you come in the morning?
Yeah, in the morning I could come,
Okay,
and then I could bring this too.
yeah, I'll give this back to you. Go ahead and bring these two, and, I'll have the girls, pull up what they have, and I'll go over everything with you. And if there's something that we can do for you, we'll make sure we take care of it.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
and then that's all, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maria.
Ruben Olivares, 211 North Second Avenue. I find it a little ironic that you want to amend the new mayor's stipend as soon as she comes into office. It wasn't a problem when you got your raise. So why would it be a problem now for her to be paid with whatever you were getting paid? It doesn't make no sense to me. Why is it okay for you to get that amount, but it's not okay for her? You know, I hope you guys vote no on that, because that wouldn't be fair to her. She's coming into a situation to where more than likely she's gonna have to figure it out to see what's really going on. Because there's a lot of discrepancies. And those are gonna have to get worked out one way or another. Another thing, as far as the verbiage goes, that she just stated something about, I found the receipt or whatever it might have been. Shouldn't those things be all put together in a file somewhere instead of saying, oh yeah, and I found it over here? Shouldn't all that be together so that you guys know, you know what, they asked this question, I'm going to this file, and it should be, the information should be there. Sounds to me like it's kind of disorganized. Why, I don't know. You know, but hopefully after the year, you know, after the new year, things will change for the betterment, because there's a lot of things that don't add up. They just don't add up. You know, and you can go ahead and smirk and smile all you want. It doesn't bother me. I could care less. You know, so hopefully after the year, as far as this employer that is temp, we know he got on because friendship. We know that's why.
Talk about.
Because that
We
job,
never talked to you about the employees.
because
I thought we were not allowed to.
we can talk about anything that's on the agenda.
Mayor Rules, he is welcome to, he is allowed to make any comments as long as he doesn't disrupt the proceedings.
Yep. Well, anyway, back to this guy. It's been going on like that for a while. You employ people that you want to employ. That position wasn't even posted. And it should have been. If you were asking for a part-time worker, why wasn't that job posted either on the Mapton website, in a paper, or somewhere? That way people could apply for it. Why did he just directly get it right off the get-go? You know, that to me isn't fair to whoever would have applied for it. I'm not saying that I would have applied, but somebody else probably could have applied for it and maybe been better qualified. You know, so you scratch my back, I scratch your back. I hope that comes to an end. That's all I gotta say.
Yes.
Chief Soto. Did our, code enforcement, did he do a good job while he was doing code?
As far as I know, I wasn't here. I was gone for 4.5 months, but as far as I know, talking to the sergeant, he was out checking code violations, and when there was something that needed a police officer to respond, he would come and let the sergeant know.
So he wasn't out knocking on doors, he was sending out ordinances, my understanding.
What he was doing is he would find violation. There were some times that he would talk to the person,
Mhm.
from my understanding.
Mhm.
But most of the time he was sending out letters.
And he sent out several, because it was a first. a
That I
second.
don't know.
Yeah.
I can't.
So I think it
speak on
was a 1, 2, and 3, if I'm correct, and I don't know, did you girls have anything with him when he was sending out those letters?
Not me.
Sophie,
No.
how about you guys, you know, if he was sending them out more than once?
I'm not sure how many letters he sent out to the residents. He would just approach me when he was looking for different codes, municipal codings.
To send out,
Yes, correct.
thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and no public hearing.
Yes.
So okay, we're gonna go ahead and have public hearing. For the final budget hearing for the fiscal year. Sophie, are we,
You can still have the public hearing. We're just not gonna pass it tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
so, do you have anything?
Mayor,
We'll start it at 6:56 for the public hearing. for the final budget hearing for the fiscal year ending for December 31st, 2026. Sophie,
I have a question on this, let's, like you were just gonna ask, can you have this, even though it's not gonna be the final budget, if we're still gonna change everything, we're gonna have to have another final?
yes. Well, we're gonna have a special meeting, so we'll get to that.
Well, we'll have a special meeting, but we have to have another final hearing because,
We won't
because
need,
of the special hearing? I mean, the special meeting that we're gonna have to go over it?
we won't need a public hearing, but we will allow comments still.
Correct,
Okay.
Drew? We'll allow comments only for the special meeting.
That is my recommendation, and yes, you can have that, especially since you are tabling or intending to table to the budget to a special meeting. I highly recommend including a public comment period at that meeting as well.
Okay. Okay, do we have any online that would like to
There's nobody online
Nobody?
here.
how about anybody here? Maria, would you like to add anything to our public comment for the budget? Oh, no. Okay, great, thank you. And anybody else here? Okay, with that, we will end at 6:57. Old business, we're gonna go ahead and discussion of resolution of the city of Mapton, Washington. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and table that.
I make the motion to table the discussion for the resolution for the facility use.
We have a motion by Sophie,
I'll second it.
second by Mary, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're gonna go ahead and go on to new business, approval of resolution 2025, authorizing a second amendment to the technical assistance of Wiley Cog. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-29 in the amount of 10,000.
I have a motion by Sophie, a motion by Sophie,
Okay.
second by Arturo, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Approval of resolution 2025-30, a resolution of the city of Mapton, Washington, approving an addendum to the existing interlock agreement with the city of Sunnyside for housing inmates.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-30, the resolution of the city of Mapton approving the addendum in the existing interlocal agreement.
I have a motion by Sophie, second by Arturo, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. C, approval of resolution 2025-31, a resolution of the city of Mapton, Washington, supporting and approving the technical assistance contract with the Yakima Valley Conference of Governments for calendar year 2026.
And that's when we decided 15.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-31. The contract with YB Cog in the amount of 15,000.
I have a motion by Sophie,
I'll second it.
Sophie, second by Mary, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I can get approval, D, approval of resolution.
Table.
Table.
I make a motion to table resolution 2025-32.
I'll second it.
Have a motion by Sophie, second by Mary, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Approval of the ordinance 2025-1204, an ordinance of the city of Mapton, Washington, reaffirming the designation of the city's official newspaper.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-1204.
I have a motion by Sophie,
Second.
second by Arturo, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're gonna go ahead and go on to F, approval of ordinance 2025-1205, an ordinance of the city of Mapton, Washington, amending ordinance 2023-1184 to revise the monthly stipend. They're gonna table that. Motion,
I would like to motion, the 2025 1205 to the table.
I'll second it.
A motion, I have a motion by Mary, second by Sophie, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Approval of ordinance 2025-1206, an ordinance in the city council of the city of Mapleton, Washington, amending the 2025 fiscal year budget as a result of changes to expenditures and revenues of various funds and fixing a time when the same shall be effective. We're gonna table that, if I can get a motion.
Make a motion to table ordinance 2025-1206.
Got a motion by Sophie,
I'll second it.
second by Mary, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. H, discussion on ordinance 2025-1203, an ordinance adopting the budget for the city of Mapleton, Washington for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026, and we will be tabling this.
I make a motion to table ordinance 2025-1203.
Motion by Sophie,
I'll second it.
second by Mary, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Council members, do you have any reports?
I have something to say. I disagree with the gentleman that said about how much the mayor's were getting. Well, Rachel, the mayor didn't get it at the beginning. She got it 2 years later, so I want to correct that. With the council member, she didn't get it in the beginning. She got it 2 years later, so let's clarify that.
And she only got it because I resigned and she knew anybody else was gonna give it to her.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
Yep.
Anything, Sophie?
Which one?
So,
She can't. Yeah, I
This
can't.
wasn't when the other meeting's gonna be, but I guess you guys will tell us. Okay, then I'm good. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. We have the senior citizen dinners coming up this Sunday at the grade school. Anybody 55 or older, welcome to come. Bring your parents, sisters.
Do you have anything?
The guy got everything ready for this winter.
We're working on it. Okay. Chief, do you have anything to add? Jerry,
No, okay.
Sophie? Sophie? Treasurer?
Bellamy, okay. We are tabling the budget and the budget amendment for 2025. Just to give you a heads up, I have finally reconciled every year.
Woo, thank you.
So
Good job.
everything is in there. Now it's just going through and auditing, looking for anything that's duplicates, looking to move items that need to be moved that were coded in the wrong years. This will be the cleanest, and that's what we wanted to present. This will be the cleanest budget in a while. So,
Congratulations.
which is why we're trying to pull it out so that we have better numbers once we get everything moved where it needs to be moved.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
Sylvie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie. I know you've been working hard on it.
Just want to add the.
And Marty has helped, so has
Oh.
Jerry.
What do you
They've all
want me
been
to add?
collaborating.
The reconciliation that you found.
Marty,
So
do you-
just-
Oh, sorry, I just wanted to also add a couple of other things. Chief Soto just handed us over the Yakima County Department of Corrections daily inmate increase. They will also be having one. It'll be about it's going from 122.87 per day to 165.86. So about $43 per day.
You say 122 to what, 89 to what?
122.87 to 165.86.
So we have two different contracts with Sunnyside and the.
Yeah,
Okay.
depending on if Sunnyside can, oh, sorry. Go ahead, chief.
We try to make sure that we help them in Sunnyside if we can. And then if they don't have room or for some reason don't want to accept them, then we have to take them. But yeah, first choice is always Sunnyside.
And how was that working when you do first choice?
They're pretty good usually. They're pretty good at housing most of the inmates for the arrest that we take over there, but there are times maybe they're full or, for some reason or other, they just don't want that person there in their jail.
And that
Um,
happened?
Yeah, it
Oh,
happens.
okay.
So we take into account.
And then the other thing with regards to the resident, in the course of reconciling the accounts, that's where we found there were at least 5 residents where the information was not inputted correctly. And I mean, it was painstaking, detail-oriented work. I had to go in and print all of the credit card receipts from all paid for the entire month and undo every single transaction for that month and then regroup them based on the day. And that's how we found the discrepancies where people were credited more than they were actually charged on the all paid. And I found the discrepancies, but I didn't go in and make changes because I always think that there should always be 2 people doing that kind of stuff. So I asked Mari to make the changes after I found them. That way, there's always at least 2 sets of eyes on everything.
So I don't know if I could, so that thing about printout and then the manual, is that the manual she's talking about or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we can't do, once LPaid processes it, we can't do anything about it. We can go back and recreate a receipt if we need to recreate a receipt in our system, but we can't make any changes. I mean, and which is what we showed her with everybody. We showed everybody. We printed a copy of the receipt from all paid, and then we printed a copy of what was paid to their account and then what we adjusted it to. So we adjusted the receipt in our system to match what all paid showed that they actually paid. But I mean, it took a while. There were several months where of 2023 that really tried my patience, but actually I got it all done Thursday last week, so it's been a lot. But now we can focus on moving the numbers, reviewing the numbers and moving them where they need to be. And with regard to the other issue, I have implemented a new filing system. There should not be, at least for 2025 and further and beyond, there should not be any filing issues. And you want a copy of an invoice, you will see that attached to a copy of the check. Because I print copies of every check that goes out and I attach the invoice to it.
That's how it used to be.
That's how we used to get it years before. We used to get them that way. Okay. Thank you, Sophie.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay, so I do, we are gonna be having our tree lighting, at 5:30 on Friday. It'll be right here, at the new city hall. We are still working on our light parade. I'm waiting for our date. Usually it's the 3rd Saturday of December. So we're waiting for that. And I know we do have a senior loteria coming up with Pozole for our senior citizens. We're still undecisive on the date for that one, but that we'll find out today as I'm working with Mikasa Restaurant that will be sponsoring that event for us with Pozole and everything. So I'll know more tonight as soon as I make my way down there. So if we can have a chief, if we can have an officer, I don't know, I believe Rodriguez will be on duty Friday.
This Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For tree lighting,
Yeah.
okay,
What time is it?
at 5:30,
Okay.
correct?
Yeah.
Or 5:30.
Yeah.
So we're getting 5:30 to 6:30, we'll have hot chocolate, I will leave this hot chocolate and panusa that we got donated from a bakery in Foster as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, we will.
Can I ask one more question? Is the attorney still on?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so,
still here.
yeah, I just have a question of. Well, you kind of answered about not spending.
Her question was, she told the two ladies here that work in the office that how can we stop them from spending if we're already overspent? We already have put things on freeze, but they're still spending.
So I'm not fully understanding the question. Is it, and what I mean by that is that I don't understand by what you mean by still spending.
They're still
What-
charging things, they're buying things.
Well, like we got an invoice here, it was, they have been asked not to spend already unnecessary spending, and the employees are still doing unnecessary spending. And because they keep doing unnecessary spending,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have to keep doing amendments.
What are
Mhm.
they
No.
correct?
We will do one final amendment for all of 2025, and that's what we'll do at the at the special meeting that we have. We'll take everything, rather than send everything to the state auditor's office one at a time. We will do one final amendment to the budget for 2025.
Can I ask what was spent that was way over
Well,
budget?
I hate to get to tell,
Well, I'd like to know what was overspent.
no, I just had a little conversation earlier about this overspending and then.
They are now going through me.
And yeah,
And-
she said she tells them to quit spending, but they don't listen and they still do it.
Well, they are coming in and asking if, and what I have been telling them is we are on a spending freeze. We're trying to finalize the budget. If you can get away with waiting until next month when the new year starts and the new budget has been approved, let's wait. If it's something that you absolutely need to have, get me quotes to see where we can find it the cheapest.
Thank you, Sophie. And Diana, and if you go through these plans, you would see the stuff that they're spending and you can ask the treasurer questions.
Well, can I see it, please?
Well, yes, ya gastar. But anyway, the treasurer has already asked them to go through her first.
Mm-hmm.
because-
Well, oh, sorry, council member. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, yeah, cause like she said, there is a hiring freeze, spending freeze, but.
Mhm.
They do the spending. And then we have to pay it anyway, they're just not paying attention, not listening.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone else needs to do something else like reprimand for not listening. I don't know.
Well, and if they're operating outside of the personnel manual by not following through with what Sophie or what the mayor or how the chain of command works, then yes, that could be a potential option to take disciplinary action. And again, just to kind of tie this back to what I said earlier, there can be things that you as a council can consider as part of your spending policies, thinking of it in the forward sense. But it does sound like Sophie has kind of at least done her best to try to get to correct this problem. But frankly, if it continues, that to me seems like more of a personnel issue that should be resolved within the chain of command and with their and if that involves disciplinary actions, that involves disciplinary actions when that need arises.
Okay, thank you, Drew.
Is that everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, all right, with that, we will adjourn the meeting at 7:15. Thank you, Drew. Have a good evening.